Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the first ever roundtable of PMP's Den of Antiquities. And if you were an audio homie, that's what I call my YouTube channel. Unbiased opinion, but you should definitely go sub because it's an awesome channel. And today I have with me a whole bunch of friends from across the galaxy to talk about it. Let's see. Let's do the introductions first. Brendan, do you want to go first?
Oh, hey, I'm Brendan. I host the podcast. I host the podcast Cloud City Conversations. You guys can find it wherever you find podcasts and on YouTube.
Awesome. Hannah?
Hi, I'm hannah.emp or hannah.emp on Instagram and Twitter. I'm a lightsaber enthusiast, and I'm excited to talk with you guys. That was such a stupid introduction, but we're going with it.
Hey, you killed it. You killed it. So I'm kind of throwing everybody on the spot. Like, hey, we're doing introductions. Next.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to go first. I was like, oh, words.
I'm just going in like the views of like my screen. So you're the first one on my screen. Jazmin, do you want to go next?
Yes, sure. I'm Jazmin, also that one nerdy fangirl on Instagram and TikTok. I cosplay a lot of Star Wars and Marvel stuff, and I'm just happy to be here.
Awesome. Tyler?
How's it going? I'm Tyler Pearson. I'm a science fiction writer who loves Star Wars and was heavily inspired by Star Wars, and an all-around great guy.
Nice. You want to throw up your pod too?
The in the making pod. I'm in the pre-production sort of situation of it, but it's coming.
Nice. And then Sophia?
I'm soibeanss on TikTok and Instagram, and I love Star Wars, so here we are.
Nice. Yeah, this is the first ever roundtable, so I'm a little nervous myself because I've never had this many people on before. But like I said, anytime I get to talk Star Wars with a group of friends, it's a good day. So the first question that I'm going to ask each of you is, what was your favorite episode out of the Book of Boba Fett? And Brendan, we're going to go with you first.
God.
You got to be ready for this, man. I'm going to be hitting you first with everything.
Oh boy. Okay. So off the top of my head, I think the last one was the most fun. No. Episode 6. Episode 6 was the best episode. I mean, with Luke and Ahsoka, I mean, do I have to say more? She's right here. She's my favorite character in all Star Wars. And I was shocked to see her. Seeing Grogu being taught everything that Luke or that Yoda and Obi-Wan taught Luke, it was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal episode. The only drawback is Boba didn't have any lines, but maybe that's when he's at his best. I don't know.
Hey, that's a valid argument. Hannah, what about you?
So, mine would be episode 5 because I'm a big Mandalorian girl. But if my favorite with Boba Fett in the episode, it was the finale. I thought that was a really cool finale. So.
Heck yeah. Jazmin, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going to have to pull a Hannah and pick 2 kind of like that.
Sure, yeah, definitely.
So it would be episode 6 just because Ahsoka, obviously I freaked out hard. And Mando and Luke and it was just great. And seeing Grogu again, I absolutely adore that kid. And then with Boba Fett, where he actually comes out, episode 2, I like chapter 2 when he's with the Tuskens and we see everything that happened. And just that episode was just absolutely beautiful and incredible. So I would have to pick that one.
Nice. Tyler, what about you?
Personally, I'm also an episode 5 guy. I thought it was, it was awesome seeing the Mandalorian, but it also felt more of a galaxy trotting and more quiet sort of episode. And I really enjoyed how they were building the new ship. And it's also a great design from the prequels that we got to see a little bit more relevance in the, sequel era, even if it doesn't have a bathroom and he needs to stop presumably every 5 hours of flight to, do his thing. But otherwise, yeah, I really enjoyed that episode. I thought it was awesome.
Nice. And so Sophia?
It's hard not to say episode 5, but just because it is, Book of Boba Fett, not Book of everyone else. the not just one specific episode, but like the scenes of him with the Tuskens. I thought that was really cool to see that background. That was definitely
completely agree.
Heck yeah. Okay, so the next question would be how did you guys like, because we've had to wait so long to get some sort of backstory on Boba. We got a little bit in the Clone Wars, but we really knew nothing about Boba Fett besides he was a bounty hunter that worked for the Empire for his later years. How did you guys like the evolution of him, like going through like the Tusken Raiders and kind of ending up where he is at the last episode? Brendan, what did you think?
I absolutely loved everything to do with the Tusken Raiders. They were I kind of felt like lukewarm to them for like the longest time, but this really made me like love the Tusken Raider culture. And I know this is just like one tribe, and it kind of makes me excited to learn more about different Tusken tribes in the future. And the development with Boba Fett in this series, I thought was great. We have the iconic meme of like a bantha. I think it's great.
It might be the intro to this round table. I'll just have Boba Fett kind of dancing like this, and then we'll cut straight into the thing.
Have the censoring for all the curse words be bantha.
Bantha.
You mother bantha.
Yeah, I'll just have all the things that he like really enunciates. Like he like really enunciates Tatooine. Like, and like so Boba Fett. Like I'll just have everything he enunciates be the curse words if anybody curses.
Perfect.
And also I want to say too, if any of you guys have like, if somebody says something and you have an idea, feel free to obviously wait your turn, don't interject, but feel free to elaborate on anything anybody says. You don't have to just, it's not like, oh, it's my turn, then my turn, then my turn. Just want to throw that out there as well. But Hannah, what did you think?
I loved it because my dad was a big Boba Fett guy, so I've always kind of liked Boba Fett, but he was like there and then gone. So seeing him, what happened to him after the Sarlacc pit in Mandalorian, and then seeing him with the tribes and everything, I loved it. And him learning the culture and not immediately dying, because we're so used to Tuskens being so like mean and violent. So seeing it as a completely different aspect, I loved it. And then seeing him kind of not mature, but how he kind of told Cad Bane that, oh, he's old now, he's not just going to be a ruthless killer. I loved it.
Nice.
And seeing it's great. And seeing Jabba Gone, him taking over the palace, I kind of loved that too.
Yeah. I really liked that he was just like, Bib, you're done, I'm gonna rule.
Yeah,
it's over with, but yeah, no, I completely agree. Jazmin, what about you?
Yeah, I really enjoyed his character arc. I did not know much about Boba. So I went into this show kind of like, I don't really know what to expect. Just what we knew about him, I was just like, he's just going to be killing everyone. So it was really interesting to see his, his development and how he started changing when he got stuck with the Tusken Raiders, and just how he developed over the episodes of the show. I know a lot of people hated it, but I thought it made sense, especially as someone who I'm getting older. I also get tired of things that I used to do. I'm like, why did I act like that? That was tiring. That was dumb. I was like, I get it, Boba. I would be tired too,
For sure.
So
definitely.
It made sense to me, and I enjoyed it. I think he's a great character, and I really like the show.
Right on. Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, I think they had a really tough task in making Boba Fett relevant after 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, because people were excited about The Mandalorian because we didn't know anything about Boba Fett, and this is like, oh, well, this is the closest we're ever going to get to a Boba Fett show, and then we actually got the Boba Fett show. So they had to do a good job of separating him from The Mandalorian and having him stay with the Sand People, and like putting distance between his old bounty hunting ways and distance between his old, Mandalorian comparison to this new character who's a little wiser and more warrior-esque. I thought that was a very good direction to take him. And it was also cool seeing the Sarlacc pit escape after like hearing about it for so long. It was neat to finally see it like on screen.
Definitely. It's something that we always kind of thought about like in our own head. And then like there's definitely the concept art out there of him like kind of like jetpacking out and like shooting the Sarlacc with the tail wrapped around him. So that's all we kind of had. So to see it, I think was kind of a really cool thing.
Wasn't there a thing from Parks and Rec that of someone like giving the exact way Boba got out of the Sarlacc pit?
Yeah,
I think it was Chris Pratt doing it.
I think that was Patton Oswalt, actually. He like ad-libbed like a 10-minute long monologue about
like Boba Fett hands comes out of the desert and he reaches for
it. They adapted it.
Yeah, he foreshadowing.
That's where the idea came. Yeah, that's where the idea for the show came from. Parks and Rec.
Just that alone.
For sure. Sophia, what did you think about his journey?
I mean, like you said, we only get to see so much of him in the movies, and then Clone Wars gave you a little bit more content of him, which was really exciting. So it was more exciting that we're getting our own show for him. I mean, I loved seeing the Tusken background and just seeing him grow as in the movies and in the show, he's kind of like portrayed as evil because, he's not working for good people. But now it's kind of like, what's good and bad? Like, it's a relative term because you don't have kind of like the Jedi to be defined as good. So like, and trying to make his way through a really cool thing to do.
Heck yeah. And I'm gonna throw my 2 cents in because I didn't do that for the first episode, my favorite episode. But I honestly this show surprised me personally because I thought we were gonna get a different Boba, because the Boba Fett that we saw, what episode was it, like 5 or 6 in The Mandalorian where he showed up?
It was actually episode 1 of season 2. We saw him first.
So I mean, like the episode where he's like kicking the stormtroopers' butts.
Oh gosh, I believe that's 6.
I know it's been a minute.
The tragedy, whichever one is called the tragedy. That's what he said.
Yes.
Right, and that's the Boba Fett that I think everybody, including myself, thought we were gonna get. So when they went the kind of different, more like, I guess, methodical, thought out Boba Fett, it kind of took me by surprise at first, but I really actually appreciate how much that he's just not a man behind a mask anymore. I know a lot of people had a problem with that because that's just kind of how he was in Empire, and then Return of the Jedi is just, he was very stiff, said a couple of lines, and he was just, if you said something wrong, he was ready to kick your butt, and I really like that they really humanized him. I thought that was something to me that was really great. I definitely thought there could have been some more action sequences than what they did give us, but maybe that's just me being somebody from the prequels who was just spoiled nonstop with action sequences, so yeah. But I really think they did a good job. In the thing that really got me was in the last episode when Cad was like, I can't figure out what your angle is. And it showed that Cad really didn't understand the transformation that Boba went to, because Boba's whole life, he was always like, screwing people over and just whatever it took to be on the top, out for yourself. And that's still kind of the mentality that Cad was in. And he didn't realize that Boba had kind of leveled up from that kind of mindset. And I really appreciate that line. That was probably one of my favorite lines from the last episode. He was just like, I can't figure, what's your angle, and Boba Fett's like, I don't have an angle,
Yeah, to add to that point, Max, like you said Boba would do anything to stay on top. Like he would like destroy, he almost killed Bosk at one point in the comics over Han Solo's bounty, which is insane. He blew his legs off and said, shut up, they'll grow back, and moved on. It's insane.
I think it's, and also it's just like that kind of Cad Bane / Boba Fett dichotomy of, I like how the show was sort of, it asks that question like, who is Boba Fett after he stops being Boba Fett, or after he stops being what we always envisioned him being? Like, he's worked for the Empire, he's worked for Jabba the Hutt, and you could always write off the evil people he served as being behind his actions, but now I get to see like, what would Boba Fett do if he was in charge of his own destiny, kind of stuff.
Definitely. Okay, so we'll move on to the next question is if there so far we haven't got an announcement for season 2 of Boba. But if we do get a season 2 of Boba, what would you like to see the next season kind of be? And Brendan, we'll go with you first.
More bounty hunters.
100%.
Give me more bounty hunters. Give me Boss, give me Dengar, give me IG-88. I don't care. I want them all.
Dude, I was really sad. I know I was like on one of your podcasts and we were talking about the Ewok. Because Boba, he said he was working. I was like, "Where's my Ewok bounty hunter? I'm pissed."
I completely forgot about that.
Hold up.
For context, there was a video that Tamir Morrison and Ming-Na Wen did for BuzzFeed, and he had mentioned Ewoks. And he said, "Oh, I love working with Ewoks," but what time did Tamir Morrison work with Ewoks? And so there was kind of an assumption of like, are Ewoks in Book of Boba Fett somehow? And it never ended up happening. So Tamir Morrison is insane, maybe? I don't know.
Man, I just wanted a little baby Ewok that looks so cute, and he just ends up being a bounty hunter and just murks everybody. Like I wanted him to go up to Pearson and just be like, "You're nothing. You're nothing," and just murk him. You know?
Probably mistaked him for Jawas.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's the other alternative. But
and have him voiced by James Earl Jones.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Judge me by my size, do you?
Yeah.
Just super deep. Just super deep. No,
Then
but
he just gets super angry and just running around murking everyone.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, oh, that would have been perfect just to see him like jumping, like kind of like doing the parkour that Finnick was doing in I think it was like the first or second episode. Just him jumping over like the buildings and just like taking out pikes and stuff. I would have loved it.
Oh my goodness. Like the Battlefront game where you're playing the Ewoks versus Stormtroopers.
Yeah,
that's what it's gonna be like.
That's what I'm saying. It's gold. Take my money. I want it.
There's a real-time strategy game on Steam called Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds, and there's a cheat code on there where you can have killer Ewoks, and they're Ewoks that have like so much health and do so much damage to everything, and you just steamroll them. Everything in your pack use the cheat code. It's phenomenal.
I'm definitely gonna go on Steam after this and get that game and find that cheat code for sure. 100%.
I beat the entire campaign by using killer Ewoks.
That's legendary.
I would spawn in like 10 of them and just rampage through the entire campaign.
Well, Lucasfilm, I know you're not listening, but in the off chance that you are, give us the Ewok bounty hunters, man. We need that. We need that in our lives, you know.
Or a Sith Ewok. Book of Wicked. Yes.
Book of Wicked.
Where he just turns into a bounty hunter. Goodness gracious. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. But Hannah, what would you want for season 2?
I'm gonna have to copy what Brendan said and say IG-88. I want IG-88 so bad.
Oh, yeah.
So bad. I was expecting them to show up, but when they didn't, I was like, man. But at the same time, I was like, we still got Cad Bane, so I'm fine with it.
Right.
But yeah, I do want to see like the other bounty hunters that we know.
No,
I really thought Boss was a shoo-in, man.
Same.
I really thought he was.
I thought we were going to get like a War of the Bounty Hunter situation in that last episode. I thought it was just going to be to the max of bounty hunters, but we didn't. I mean, like I said, we still got great season, but I wish the bounty hunters were there.
Or here's my other little thing. I was really hoping for something from Crimson Dawn, because I was like, I don't know if they're.
Yes.
I was like, I don't know if they're around, but like, I want to see Kira and like all there, because they're a crime syndicate too. So
definitely
do your prayers for Kira every night, guys.
Oh yeah.
We sit in the summoning circle, hold your hand.
That's what we'll do. We'll just get another group call, and we'll just all like light candles and figuratively hold our hands.
Man, every time I saw one of those tweets, I liked it.
I did too. I kept resharing it. Every time I reshared it, and then I'd comment underneath it to go with the summoning circle.
Nice.
Jazmin, what do you want for season 2?
That's hard. I I definitely would want more Fennec and Boba Fett adventures. Honestly, they could do anything. Their dynamic is great. I love Fennec just wants to go and like murder everyone, and Boba's like chill. I absolutely love that. They're so funny. I don't know, and maybe it would be really cool to see, you know, like Omega maybe.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or like Boba Fett having more flashbacks. I really like the flashbacks, but also from when he was younger. So Clone Wars time, that would be really cool too. I don't know. Honestly, I'd be happy with anything. Just more Fennec and Boba adventures is fine with me.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Tyler, what about you?
I would definitely love something to get. I would love for this mythical season 2 to get dark, because, you know, Boba Fett, I mean, I guess, I don't know how old he is, but, you know, I think they could pull off like an almost Logan-esque sort of story for him where, like, he's starting to show his age. You know, we've already seen a lot of his disillusionment with, you know, the criminal underworld in this show. So I would love for whatever comes next for Boba Fett to really lean into like this man who's past his prime, who doesn't know his place in the universe, and who's sort of getting up there in age in a way. I think you could tell. I mean, I guess they'll probably be going in that direction for the Obi-Wan show, but if they don't, you got another aging legendary character to play with that.
Right on. Yeah, no, that would be cool. That'd be a cool take on it. I don't know if that's necessarily like the dynamic that they would want to go for, but I think that could be really cool. Like maybe something like really like, you know, he wants to rule with respect and kind of honor and loyalty, and maybe something that like pushes him, like maybe something happens to Fennec or something like that, you know, that kind of pushes him to that edge of just like, okay, I tried it this way, now I'm gonna rule with like an iron fist or something like that, you know.
There could be like a tragedy in that sort of like that he's tried so hard to put his past behind him, but maybe like there's a tragedy in him regressing almost like, you know, the tragedy of Darth Vader, how his whole entire thing was he was being groomed to, you know, destroy the dark side of the Force, or to bring balance to the Force, sorry. And then he fell from grace. So it's not even a story that's really strange for Star Wars to do.
Yeah, definitely. Sophia, what about you? Oh, sorry. What were you saying, Brennan?
Oh, so Boba is 41 during the Book of Boba Fett.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought 41. He was older. I would have said 50 or 60, because it's like, I don't know how long he sits in the Sarlacc for. I guess that's never really stated. But
it's 5 BBY.
Oh, okay.
Or not 9 BB or 9 ABY is when the God, Star Wars dates are so confusing.
Yeah.
So 9 ABY when the war happens. I believe it's 4 ABY when he gets into the Sarlacc. So there's a 5-year time jump between Sarlacc and the war.
Okay.
And presumably he's living with the Sand People in that time.
Yeah, for at least he's roaming the desert for at least 5 years, which is that's got to be rough on the skin.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's pretty bad.
He's a lot of Bacta.
And I don't see Boba Fett slowing down. You know, Tom Brady is older than Boba Fett.
Fair point.
Tom Brady is 44 and still could keep playing if he really wanted to.
Fair point.
You know,
I'm an Eagles fan. You got to be careful. I live in Philly. We gotta tread lightly.
I'm just messing around. I'm a Bengals fan. I'm feeling good.
Oh, you're gonna have fun Sunday then.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow, man, is gonna be fun.
It's about to
unless we lose, and then I'll be heartbroken. But
hey, at least y'all made it. I mean, how long has it been since y'all been this far? You know,
30 years.
Yeah, I mean that's
never in my lifetime have we even won a playoff game.
That's an achievement within itself. You know,
I don't even know who the Bengals play for.
Cincinnati.
Ohio, yeah.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
I knew that.
right. Yeah. Sophia, what do you think about what would you want to see in the season 2?
Definitely more bounty hunter. Didn't. But I also feel like we didn't get enough of Fennec, like especially that last episode. I kind of robbed of seeing like how cool she is, you know. Like kind of saw her in the beginning and then like right at the end, which were great with her in it, but I just want to see like more of her because I like her so much.
Yeah, I feel that. I think that was an opportunity that was really missed, is to have another showdown with her and Cad Bane. Like, how cool was that in Bad Batch when they were? I know a lot of people had problems with that, but I thought that was the coolest thing, that she kind of like went toe to toe with Cad and was like, "Hey, like, you think you're better than me, and I'm going to show you that you're not," you know, sort of thing. So I thought that was super cool. I actually don't think that Cad's dead. So maybe we'll get it in season 2. Maybe he hits the Bacta for a little bit, man. And hey, if Darth Maul can survive getting chopped in half and throw down a well, Cad Bane can survive a gaffy stick to the chest. Like,
Cad Bane is like 71 here. He's old.
Maybe he gets robotic parts and he's just a mod Bane.
Honestly,
now.
Everyone on Tatooine gets modded.
Yeah.
The requirement.
Honestly, I'd be kind of okay with Cad Bane getting there. Maybe it's because I haven't watched the Clone Wars, so I'm not as attached to the character.
Okay, hold on, wait. I need to kick you out of this chat. You haven't seen the Clone Wars? That's Star Wars violation 101. Where's the kick button?
I've seen many episodes of the Clone Wars, but I haven't seen all of them.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just giving you crap.
So I'm very familiar with Cad Bane, and I think Cad Bane is awesome. But I like the idea that, you got to thin the roster a little bit. We already have enough characters that are getting their own shows and that are getting. We don't want to risk people getting stale. You know what I mean?
For sure, definitely. They're definitely going the route of kind of keeping characters around. But man, I mean, he's such a
hard hitting gut punch.
He's such a cool. But I'm saying, if they bring him back. He needs to lose the hat that he has now. Bring me big Cad Bane back. We don't want no small hat.
It needs to be way bigger.
We want here. I don't care if it's live action. I want that thing to be hitting the floor. It's so massive.
It does not have to make sense. Just make it happen.
Yeah, exactly. Bring back this hashtag Big Hat Cad Bane. Bring it back.
Big Hat Cad.
Yeah, Big Hat Cad.
Big Hat Logan.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on.
All my Dark Souls homies out there.
For sure. But no, I think there could be, I think really seeing the Hutts, I thought that's the route that it was going to go with the twins. And I was super stoked for that. Because while the Hutts aren't like super, like they don't do stuff themselves, they're pretty menacing in a powerhouse, like I would really like, I played like the Star Wars, the Old Republic games, and Nar Shaddaa, that's the name of the planet, is really cool. It's like a kind of like a Coruscant mixed with like Vegas.
It's like the criminal version of Coruscant, where Coruscant has all the politicians and the Jedi. Nar Shaddaa has all the underworld seedy stuff going on.
Yeah, lots of casinos, lots of like just really big Vegas stuff, and I think that would be pretty sweet to maybe he takes it to the Hutts, or the Hutts come back and he has to go to Hutta to maybe assassinate the Hutts.
That would be dope.
Also, Crimson Dawn, man. Crimson Dawn. I've preached this so much. Just
summoning circle.
Get my little lightsaber. We'll do the little christening or whatever. But yeah, I really think that would be sweet. I think they could do a Crimson Dawn TV show, and then they could lead into like they want to tie in all this stuff. They should make a Crimson Dawn TV show. Obviously before all this stuff happens, because I want Maul and Kira, but make like a precursor one and then have it feed into Boba. I think, because Mando is kind of the flagship, right? Like he's the one that's leading the charge for all of these shows, and they're interweaving all of this. But you could even have like ones behind that. So Crimson Dawn could be a show that's behind Boba Fett, and then those could tie in. You could even have like kind of like this graph of just shows that are funneling down, and we can kind of get something that we have with like Marvel, where Marvel's doing all these extra shows and they're all connecting and stuff like that. I think that would be really cool. It's cool to see, but who knows? I'm hopeful because we got it confirmation that Andor has a season 2.
Yep.
So to me, it's hard to believe that we'd be in a world where we get Andor season 2, but we don't get Boba season 2. Because like, no offense to Andor at all, I am super hyped for that show. I love that time period. But to me, Boba Fett's a lot more of an interesting character than Cassian, and that's just my opinion, you know. But I'm really hopeful that we can kind of maybe sometime next year we can get season 2 of Boba. But the final question that I'm going to ask you guys is just what you thought about the series overall, just the overarching, just from start to finish. What was your thoughts on Boba? How did you like it? And Brendan, we'll go with you first.
Are we talking the show or the character?
We can do both, but I was talking about just the show as a whole.
Okay. I thought it was good. It was really good. Obviously, it got a lot better in the latter half of the series, but I think it was still good in the beginning. You could make the argument that it could have been structured better narratively, but at the end, I don't think that really bothers me that much. Boba grew so much as a character in the series, and I think it's great. My only actual gripe with the series is that screen time was taken away from Boba in his own show. Like, if we're really honest, this is just Mandalorian 2.5. Yeah. But I think I'd give the series around 8.5 out of 10.
Oh, wow, that's still pretty high. Yeah, that's still pretty high. It was
really awesome. Enjoyable.
Yeah,
it was good fun. Some of the best moments happened in 5, 6, 7. I mean, it was those last 3 episodes were really perfect for me.
Yeah, I completely agree. Hannah, what about you?
I liked the show. I know there's online, it's being shredded right now.
Typical Star Wars fans.
Yeah, you know how it always goes. But I liked it. As someone who, I liked Boba Fett, and seeing him just, die in the Sarlacc pit and disappearing and then randomly appearing again, I thought it was cool to figure out he was chilling with the Tusken Raiders and figuring out what happened after he escaped. And also seeing him just roam Tatooine and kind of pick up a, what do you call it? Wow, I'm blanking real quick. A power, leadership over Tatooine, kind of. If you guys, I'm trying to think of the word. He's the
daimyo.
Thank you. Oh my god.
I was like, what word are you looking for? I was like, I think it's daimyo. I'm gonna say it.
Yes, that is the word. But I loved it, and then obviously 5, 6, and 7 made me just go insane. It was emotional. I loved it though. I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10 too. I really liked it.
Also, I just saw your shirt, and that's a really cool shirt. It's like
thank you.
It's almost like a tarot card. Almost. Ooh. It kind of looks like that's pretty sick. Though.
Here.
Nice.
I like that.
I got it from Imperial Merch Co. It's my friend Bella's shop.
Yeah, they're great. So. I got the. I think it's actually over here. I have the. She did the Darth Maul sticker, and I got the holographic. Where's my thing? The holographic Maul sticker.
Ooh.
I have that on a t-shirt.
That's nice.
She has a t-shirt of it? Yo, hold on. Pre-order real quick. Pause the show.
I have all 4 of her tarot cards. 5, because she has a General Grievous one too that I need to buy.
Yo, that's sick.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
Hang on.
I need that.
No, I need to find all of my stickers. Anyways, I have a Darth Vader, Darth Maul, the Ahsoka one, and then Boba Fett. So I felt like this was a proper type of attire.
Take my money.
I get to show off Bella's company. So if I can show off my friend's company whenever I can.
Hell yeah. I'm about to, it's working because I'm about to go buy all those t-shirts. Those are sick.
Imperial Merch Co. Just go buy everything, honestly.
Yeah, I thought she just had stickers. Like I guess I just didn't check out her shop well enough. Man,
she did for a while where it was just stickers, and then she did figures, like little cool Lego figures, and then she started doing like shirts, and then long sleeve shirts and sweatshirts. I have so much of her merch right now.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, her shop is amazing. So if you want cool Star Wars merch, everyone listening and watching, check out Imperial Merch Co. Definitely,
that's cool. Yeah, because I follow her on TikTok. Like that's where I originally saw her, because she she's actually one of the big inspirations. I want to get a Star Wars sleeve now. I didn't know I ever wanted one.
Yeah.
But now, after seeing all her stuff,
sleeve is so crazy. I love it.
yeah, I was like, I need a sleeve now. I didn't know I needed it, but now I do.
Yeah, I was looking on Rotten Tomatoes at Book of Boba Fett. Who are we talking about?
My friend Bella, the one who has
she's
the
coming
shot.
to Cloud City new. Or very
Oh,
soon.
she's lovely.
Nice,
I love
nice.
her.
I figured when I heard sleeve on TikTok, I'm like, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
That would be Bella.
But yeah.
Yep.
I wanted to add real quick. So I looked at all the Rotten Tomato scores for Book of Boba Fett. The last episode has a 50%.
What?
Right?
Really?
As a whole, they gave it a 73 and the audience gave it a 61.
That's because of them stuck Star Wars fans that are mad over a twirl. Let's be honest.
Chapter 5 is 100% though.
Wow.
Woo!
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense.
Chapter 6,
It was just me with a bunch of
89.
fake accounts putting it at 100.
Blasting it.
Chapter 4 was an 86. Chapter 3 was a 59.
Let's be honest, though. Everyone was so mad because Mando and Ahsoka and Luke were there, but as soon as Boba Fett shows up doing badass stuff and being his badass self, people are like, no, I don't like that.
That's what I don't understand.
He came
'cause
in on a freaking raincoat.
Dude, I know.
What?
the entire series, everyone was like, Boba's not badass. I want him to kill stuff and fight. And then as soon as he does it, we're like I hate it.
And his action scenes with Din when they were both fighting together, that
Dude,
was
when
freaking awesome.
he does the knee,
I
when
was
he like
I saved that.
Hand.
Yes.
The jetpack when
Yes.
he and Din came in with the jetpack after the negotiations, I think that was the highlight of the show for me.
Yes.
Oh,
I mean,
for
there
sure.
was, I had a few little issues with the final episode, but that scene, I was like, oh man, that's so cool. I loved seeing that.
Definitely.
Right.
I mean, I think the last episode was made for me just not even in the spin, because I like the spin. It was Star Wars has a little bit of cheese in it. Star Wars has a little bit of cheese in it, and that was cheese. That was Star Wars cheese, though. Like that's the perfect amount. And then you get the Boba Fett, where I don't know if he crosses or if he goes like this. But with him doing the knee thing, I was like, I didn't know I needed to see that, but
The knee thing was dope.
I need to go buy a hot toy right now, and he's gonna stay in that pose for all of eternity.
So many fans on Twitter were complaining about the spin that Scad did, but then they don't realize that in the Clone Wars, Obi-Wan and Anakin do this extra spinning force push together that it looks like they've coordinated it for at least 5 hours in a dancing room.
The first time we see Obi-Wan, he does a spin, and no one complained back then when he spun. But God forbid they spin now.
It's a good trick.
Yeah, that's literally, you just beat me to it. I was like, I thought we all agreed that spinning was a good trick. Like, come on, like when did that not become a good thing?
I can't decide whether I absolutely adore or hate the Mandalorian saying wizard. Like,
oh, dude, it's great.
At first, I was like, "Oh my god, are you kidding me?" But then I thought, I was like, "Wait, that's actually great. That just legitimized wizard."
Yeah, I like that.
My prequel self was screaming at that. I was like, "Yay!"
Well,
that's a little Phantom Menace reference.
That's one thing I loved about the book of, like, love or hate the Book of Boba Fett. I definitely think they targeted a lot of prequel people. Like there was so much prequel stuff out of like any show that I've like ever seen in Star Wars that obviously doesn't have to deal with the prequels. This gave us the most prequel era stuff. We got the Starfighter, we got the Wizard reference. I mean, I'm sure I'm missing tons more, but we got so much stuff. And I was just
really,
like, no, go for it.
Sorry, it's so like. It's so weird. Think about the approach that Disney had towards the series during the Force Awakens era and how the prequels just might as well have not even existed. And now, like, it's just the total 180 on how they're now actually finally, like, embracing prequel stuff and legitimizing it in a way. Because, not everybody likes the prequels, but I'm willing to bet that a lot of people like this new stuff, or the shows, I should say. I know some people have problems with the new stuff, but, like, the shows like Mandalorian and Boba Fett, how they've been doing these references to the prequels in a way they're just like Clone Wars did, retroactively making the prequels, more accepted.
Definitely. Well, that's the thing is, it's like, I really think that they're trying to include everybody, and I really appreciate that. They're like, basically, to me, when they do stuff like that, is they're talking, whether you're a original trilogy, a sequel trilogy fan, a prequel, or all of them combined, we haven't forgotten about you, regardless of what era of Star Wars, you know. Because like, to me, I was just like, it kind of seemed like, yeah, you're right. Like when like the sequels came out, to me, it felt like they had they were giving a lot about the original trilogy, but there wasn't a lot of sequel content or a prequel content in the sequel trilogy. So to me, I felt like I kind of wasn't almost recognized as like, because that's like my area. Oh, hold on. Your call ends in 10 minutes. Oh my goodness. All right, well, we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna go with Jazmin. And what did you think about the Book of Boba Fett?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was very interesting. I loved that we got to see more Boba's backstory and just how he came to be who he is now. I loved the cameos. I loved everything. I think my one complaint is I really do think it needed more episodes.
I agree.
Just so that they could actually focus a little bit more on Boba, and maybe even Fennec have an episode in there. It just needed a couple more episodes, and it would have been like 10 out of 10 for me.
I completely agree with you. Yeah, that was the one thing I was like, as much as I love 5 and 6, because 5 and 6 are great, I was just like, you guys, like, we just got Boba's backstory, and now I'm like, okay, we're gonna see him in the present and how he handles business, and then really you don't see him in either episode. You kind of see him in the 6th one, like, but he's just kind of standing there, and to me he just looks confused as hell. He's just like, you know, people, like, what's going on? Like, am I in a meeting right now? Where am I? He kind of looks confused. So as much as I love those episodes, I was just like, man, I was like, we're just getting into like the juice of Boba Fett, and I felt like they kind of switched on us, which again is okay. I loved both of those episodes so much, but I thought it was a bit of a weird shift, you know. But Tyler, what did you think of the Book of Boba Fett as the whole?
I think I think that the Book of Boba Fett was my least favorite of the live action shows thus far. But there's like, it did so many things right at the same time. I absolutely loved seeing Boba Fett's character develop from, as I said before, the guy who's working for evil people to, what do I do now that I don't have bosses? What does Boba Fett say in the matter? I liked his stuff with the Sand People. Of course, I loved seeing the Mandalorian, but I also like, there's been a lot of complaints about, oh, we see too much Tatooine in Star Wars, but I enjoyed seeing them like go all in and like developing the planet into like an actual setting. Like, it feels more alive than it ever has before. And Tatooine, aside from like Coruscant, maybe is arguably the most recognizable area in Star Wars. So it makes sense that you would develop and flesh out this world specifically. So I like what it did with the universe, and it had a lot of great ideas as far as Boba Fett's development from bounty hunter to what he is now.
Right on. I can agree with everything you just said. So, and I just extended my thing so we're not so rushed. So we're fine.
I was about to say we don't have to cut it off.
No, it's I didn't realize I hadn't upgraded like the Google thing, so I don't want to. We won't take too much more time, but I just want to say you guys don't have to rush through your answers. But Sophia, what did you think about the Boba Fett as a whole?
I really enjoyed it overall. I just try to, in general, with Star Wars and with, so that I'm not like disappointed in any way. Like, I listen to the crazy theories people have, but I don't really expect anything. I did have like some likes and some dislikes. Like, I felt the whole Luke and Ahsoka, I don't know if that was exactly content, but I'm happy that I got to see it because that was amazing to see them meet. So I'm just happy with what we got, and it could have had, more potential with things like more Boba and more Fennec, but I looked forward to a new episode every week, and I had a good time watching it. So I'm not upset like half the internet is.
Yeah, I think some people can kind of be a little bit much, man. You know, you got to realize is that like there's so much Star Wars that it's okay if not everything is for you. Like if Book of Boba Fett wasn't for you, man, you got 6 or not even 6. You got 9 other movies. You got TV shows. I mean, we're spoiled with the amount of Star Wars stuff that we get. There's
more on the way.
Yeah, I was saying
tons more on the way.
Yeah, and like we got video games announced. They're doing books. I mean, this is to me the best time that could possibly be to be a Star Wars fan. There's so much, just like Marvel. There's so much content out there that like. It's kind of great that we can pick and choose what we want and what we don't want, whether you want the sequels to be canon or whether you don't want them to be canon, or whether you don't want the prequels to be canon, or because I know there's some people who don't like the prequels. Like you can pick and that's okay. But that's like the whole reason I know Brendan feels the same way is kind of why we started doing this is really just to spread that positivity. You know, I might not agree with every single thing that you guys say, but at the end of the day, I still consider you guys friends, and I can be like, hey, I don't agree with that, but your opinion is still valid instead of tearing people down, you know? And I think that's something that I think we're kind of starting to see within the fandom. I think there's still a lot of really loud people out there, and I think there's always going to be loud people, you know? But yeah, I think that's one thing that's like really cool is that I can start to see a little bit of a change of like really like a lot of the fans that, you know, really love Star Wars are really coming together and being like, hey, you know what, you like that, that's great, I'm right here with you, let's talk about it, you know?
It's a refreshingly positive format for you, like this thing that you're doing. It's a refreshingly positive thing,
right? Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and that's why I love meeting people. Like I didn't know any of you guys before I started this stuff. I mean, Tyler, I knew you a little bit because we went to school together, you know, so we got a little bit of backstory, but I didn't know any of you guys, you know, and through the love of the franchise, like we all met, you know, which is something that's really cool. I don't know really why I went on that tangent, but
well said. In either case, well said.
Yeah. Just a happy positivity break.
But like, no, go for it. Go for it.
Oh, like Max said, we both started our podcasts in our platforms to create more positivity in the Star Wars community because unfortunately, you've got a lot of bad eggs in the Star Wars community that are like stoking the flames all the time. Sometimes you just need people to say like, hey, it's okay not to like stuff. That's fine. Like, I don't like Star Wars Resistance. I'm not screaming it from the rooftops, you know?
Definitely.
Okay.
You kind of brought up like this thing of like, you know, in the eyes of certain people, like the prequels may not be canon, or maybe some people like Legends better. It's almost like Star Wars has become like a genre of film and of video games and books and whatever in and of itself. Like, it's almost like a completely distinct thing from science fiction or science fantasy. Almost. There's such a breadth of, like you said, there's such a breadth of content that, like, you know, as a science fiction fan myself, there's plenty of science fiction books that I'm like, yeah, that sucks, that's great, you know. And it's the same with Star Wars, and there's so much of it that like you can't even consume all of it in, you know, seemingly one lifetime. It's like the Smithsonian.
Oh yeah.
So I'll make out there.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm going to give my thoughts on what I thought of it, and then we'll kind of wrap everything up, and I'll let you guys go because we're sitting roughly at like 48, 50 minutes. I think that's a good round table. But I was honestly, man, there's a lot of stuff that I had critiques on in the Book of Boba Fett. I think a lot of people thought that he was kind of going to be like, I don't know if you guys have sseen John Wick, but a lot of people thought he was going to be a John Wick, you know, and just come in and wipe people out and just
kill this bantha.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like one bantha gone.
Season 2 ideas, man.
Yeah. He just sees this little bantha, or sees this bantha with his bantha babies and his bantha wife.
That's when the Ewoks come in.
Oh,
kills an
Ewoks kill the bantha.
Dude.
Ewick. Well, now wait.
Ewick. Oh Jesus!
Great.
Oh man, that would be great. But yeah, no, I really this show did a 180 on me, and I know I've kind of said this. I didn't see really anything that happened in the show. I knew we were kind of going to get his backstory, but I love the way that it turned out. You know, it wasn't a great show, in my opinion. It wasn't a great show, but I enjoyed every second of it. It definitely had its flaws, which every show does. But really, in my opinion, the only episode that I really didn't care for was episode 3. And that was just because, to me personally, I wasn't a big fan of the speeder bikes. I thought that they fit Coruscant. I thought the idea was great, but I thought they fit more of a Coruscant vibe. And then that's just my opinion. You know, I'm not discrediting anybody. If you like the speeder bike gang, you know, more power to you. Like, I'm not trying to do that. But to me, they just didn't really fit the vibe of Tatooine. And that's my biggest gripe out of the Book of Boba Fett. I consider that a win. You know, like that to me, that's just like, it's really, I'm going to complain about a biker gang, and that's why, because I feel like that's a lot of people's complaints. That's what I heard a lot over the internet, and like even with like the spin, like that was a biker gang member. I feel like a lot of people had a problem with it, and I'm like, if that's your only problem with the show, like, is it really that bad of a show? You know? And like I said, I enjoyed every second. I watched each episode 3 or 4 times. You know, so maybe we just get, to me personally, I think maybe we just get a different director. I no disheartening to Robert Rodriguez at all, but I looked up who directed each show after the fact that I figured out, and I noticed that a lot of the episodes that he directed, I was kind of like, those could have been done better. You know, I think he directed 1, 3, and then he directed the finale. I think that's what it was. And like I said, like, I loved the first episode and I loved the finale, but I think some of the directing styles was a little so-so. But overall, I mean, I think I would give it a 7.5 in my opinion out of 10. And like I said, that's great in my book. So why don't we go? I know we already plugged everything, but why don't we go around one more time for the listeners and plug all of your stuff, and then we'll wrap up the show. Brendan, let's start with you.
Yeah, you guys can find me on Instagram at brendanisdumb, and you guys could also find the podcast Cloud City Conversations at Cloud City Pod on Instagram, and you guys can find me on Twitter at brendanisdumb as well, and my Twitter for the Cloud City Conversations is Cloud City Cons. And you guys can listen to Cloud City Conversations on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Basically, we kind of do something very similar to Max. We talk to Star Wars creators, Star Wars fans, and soon to be Star Wars actors. So it's very fun.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. Chris Bartlett is coming on the podcast very soon.
That's fantastic. Well done.
Yeah, any fans of the show, I highly recommend all of Brendan's stuff. His stuff's great. Yeah. So
look for this logo for people watching on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
my hoodie.
And if you're an audio listener,
I've been on it 3 times. Go. It's awesome.
Hannah, Jazmin, and Max are all on the podcast. Go listen to their episodes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hannah, you want to go next?
Oh yes. My Instagram is hannah.emp, and then my TikTok is hannah.emp. If you follow any of those, I just talk about lightsabers and more lightsabers. So
very nice.
That's practically everything that I know about. So if you need any lightsaber help or recommendations, my Instagram and TikTok, just message me on there and I'll gladly help you.
Yeah, side note, I don't know if I told you, but I got a saber from Imperial Workshop. I got the Nova 2.0, and oh my god, the amount of saber videos I'm about to make with that saber. Dude, I love it so much. I haven't put the
I have
nice.
an Imperial one right here.
Nice.
You get 2 of these, and you can make a staff like a Darth Maul staff.
I'm a 100. My birthday's in March, and I asked for that for Christmas, and I was like, I'm hooked. I gotta get another one. I gotta get another one now.
It's 160 for a NeoPixel. You get 2 of them. You remove this, and they attach. So then you can have a NeoPixel staff.
Oh yeah. That's my plan.
Make videos with that too. So
heck yeah.
Tell everyone about this. It's my favorite company is Imperial Workshop.
Oh, they're great, and they give you. I thought that was cool that they give you like the stuff to do the sound fonts with. Like, so you can have like it comes with a USB and you can upload, and they come with a ridiculous amount of sound. I messed around with it. I'm kidding you not, for an hour and a half, just flipping through all the sound fonts. And I don't even know if I made it through all of them, you know?
Yeah, there's so many. With everything updating too, there's just so much adding on to the boards. It's crazy. I'm excited as a lightsaber person. I'm like, oh my god.
Hell yeah. I will say though, I'm calling out Imperial Surplus. I didn't appreciate. I turned the saber on, and the first sound font was "You were the chosen one," and it had the sad music, and I was like, "Well, that's cool." It just put me right in the feels.
Sad? Do you want to hear something sad? Because I programmed a lightsaber, and I got to show you it.
Do it.
So my Anakin.
Yes, I knew it.
Yo.
And then hang on. Every time I hit it, it's them yelling.
Oh my god, that is
I love that.
savage.
I believe this is from K Sith. That's where the sound font came from. I might be wrong. I will auto correct myself when I figure it out again. But yeah, I make a lot of videos with this.
Yeah. Don't you call it the Youngling Slayer?
Yeah, and everyone keeps calling me Anakin Skywalker. That's like my whole gist. So yeah, I just felt like that was fitting, and I had to throw this in there.
Yeah, that's clutch. Thank you for sharing that. That's,
You're welcome.
It was sad, but it was also great. You know, it's like oh, but like at the same time, you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Jazmin, why don't you plug your stuff?
I am that one nerdy fangirl on TikTok and Instagram, and I just do a lot of Star Wars and Marvel cosplay, a lot of like funny stuff. I'm a big Rebels fan, so you'll see a lot of Star Wars Rebel stuff on my page.
Nice. Man, I feel bad. I can't, like, my Grogu is like on the other side. Just picture him here. You know what? Here, real quick. I got this.
Oh. Sorry, I just had him out, and I had to stop waving.
No, my clothes.
I didn't even see Hannah grab hers.
I
just went to grab mine, and I came back, and you had yours. I was like, oh, what a coincidence.
Got R2 with a salacious scrum.
And I was like, yep.
He's wearing. He's tired. He's got his little sleep mask on. Tyler, why don't you plug your stuff?
Well, on Instagram, I am David Tyler Pearson. I don't know the exact like way you write it out, but you can check out my link tree, which will have links to like my short stories and whatever I put out. linktr.ee /dtylerpierson.
And I'll have all the links down below for everybody.
Yeah, anything worth checking out from my end that isn't pictures of my Legos or whatever, that's where you'll find it.
Nice. What's going on here, guys? Are we just like, it's like you're gonna be like, all right, we gotta one up everybody. Let's find the next thing. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
The rum.
This is the clone.
This is the clone. All right, Sophia, what's your you plug your stuff?
As I made it.
No.
Oh, it's sick.
I don't know why I didn't have this the whole time, but
I'm soybeans on TikTok and then soy.beans on Instagram. Soy is spelled SOI. It's kind of weird, but yeah.
Nice. All right. And you guys can find me at PMP's Den of Antiquities on YouTube. I know that's a mouthful to say, but we'll have all the links down below. You can find me on Instagram if you want to like get a hold of me. That's probably the best way. I'm on there like nonstop because I love that. I love that app because I get to connect with everybody. And it's PMP's Den. It's PMPS_DEN. And you can find the podcast there and everything like that. And then my podcast is the Star Wars Perspective Podcast. And you can find that anywhere you listen to your podcasts. So thank you guys. If you guys have made it this far in this video, thank you for watching. Thank all of you for coming on and really being a part of the podcast. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to chat with me. And I think this roundtable was awesome. And I can't wait to do more in the future. So
thank you.
As
Thank
always.
you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do another one for Kenobi for sure.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
Oh,
yes.
So hyped.
I volunteer.
Yeah, definitely. We can have all you guys back. I don't know if I'm going to do a week by week but I know I'm gonna do a live action like round table at the end. So if I do end up doing them week by week, I'll definitely hit all you guys up too. So
I would happily come back. I hope that I didn't scare you away by saying Cad Bane should be dead.
No, not all. See,
Cad Bane should be dead.
the only thing that if you would have said Cad Bane deserves to have a small hat, then we couldn't be friends anymore. If you
Yeah,
then I will. I'm not gonna say what I was about to say next. Then, all right.
Tyler, we're gonna beef.
What?
We're gonna
No
beef.
hat.
I value your friendship too much to destroy it in such a fashion. So I'll put a lid on it.
Well, thank you guys for watching. If you've made it this far in this video, and may the force be with you.